Hey everybody, I wanted to share with you the writing project that I have been working on. Now, this is my actually 10th year working on this project. I was doing a lot of R&D, gathering all of the things, and it's called WorkAway. And it was taking the idea of what's my regular life and how would I work from somewhere else in the world for 30 days? And what would that do for me? And so that was 10 years ago. This is my actually 11 years ago. But 10 years ago, I said, I'm going to try this idea. And it was a lot of learning. It was a lot of things that I learned about saying, for 30 days every year, I want to live somewhere else. And because I am the primary breadwinner for my family, I also still have to make a living. So I am a consultant, so that makes it easy. And when I first started out, I picked big places, Italy, Paris, go across these. And as a consultant, that made it really hard for me. So because sometimes I was 6 or 8 hours time difference, and sometimes I was 10 hours time difference from my clients. So, and it was just too confusing for me. I couldn't work on my flow. So I made the decision 8 years ago that I would just travel the country I live in, and I live in the United States. So there was so much to do. So while I did that, I took notes and I learned things. And what I found is that the United States is really big and it's really diverse and it's really different. So I started writing about the places that I was at, and I started it called WorkAway. So then I started doing things like Google reviews, advising on TripAdvisor, and just keeping notes live real time. But now I have the book series. And let me tell you about the book series. So we have gone through now uh, 2 edits in 10 years. So sometimes I am actually writing for real time and the future. And sometimes I am just giving direction on how do you do it. I will say that it is the number one question that people ask me about this project is how? How can I do that? How did you figure out the money? How did you figure out what to do about your dog? What did you do about your house? How did you pay your bills? And then what are you doing for a month? So that's what this book series is about. And you can tell by this giant paper clip. So this is also this is just the words that are in that book. So each one, I made it like a workbook, so you can pick the state. So this one happens to be for Florida. And just what are the things that you want to remember? People want to know, how are you working? How are you managing your internet? Because you have to have internet. Are you living out of your car? Are you buying a hotel? Are you doing an Airbnb? How do you manage all of the details? And that's what the books provide. And so whether or not I'm taking a dog or not a dog, or how do you walk your dog when you're doing that, or how do you take two dogs? What do you do with your, all of the things. And whether or not you use a hotel, or when do you use a hotel, or understanding a highway oasis, or understanding how you're going to eat there. What I found in the United States, this happens to be for Florida, but there are also things on the menu that I never knew. So it's also a way, if you're just traveling to that state, the reason I like this workbook is because it is a workbook. It kind of helps you understand what you're packing, why you're packing it. When you're gone for a week, you can kind of live differently. But when you have a month of 30 days in a row, you really need stuff. I need stuff. I need sometimes just stupid stuff like moisturizer, or I need medicine. So I needed 30-day supply of medicine, and I needed other things that kind of take it along your way. But so sometimes it was just getting to understand a menu. How often do you eat out? How are you eating in? How are you managing carrying food from day to day? How are you managing the technology? How are you managing a marriage that I travel with my partner? And sometimes I will have my family come to the location if I feel that it's there, or sometimes I'll meet a friend in that state because I knew them or whatever. But I also had some hiking goals. I had things that I wanted around physical activity. So I had to also arrange my time so that I could be in the time zone I needed to work, and I could be in the time zone that I needed to live my life. So I had to arrange days that I didn't work at all and days that I could just be in transit or make an idea of what I wanted. One of the tips that I learned was that I needed a physical map, that I needed an actual paper map of my state so I could get my head around car. How could I get around in that car? Some places, this one city was so big, I had to just spend an entire month in that city. You could spend an entire month in Seattle and be very happy. You can spend an entire month in New York City and be very happy. So you can think about what it is that you're there. So my writing project for now, I just wanted to share it with you. It's called WorkAway. I'm very excited about it. We've gotten lots of people to give me feedback on it, and you get to see all my great pictures. I took photographs along the way, and on some of them, I also put in my journal entries so that you could kind of read what it was like to be with me at that time. It's also where I started a lot of the other things that I did. I did a lot of art while I was gone. I did my own creative projects. I wrote a lot of classes. I did a lot of journaling. I did a lot of things that were for me. So creatively, it was a way for me to say there's 30 days in the year that are just for me. And some of you may be able to not work during that time. I had to. So I had to also figure out what was the minimum amount that I could work and still have time to create. So I hope you love it. I will keep you abreast of when it is in publish. We will make it easy for you to access, but we are also going to put out more than one at a time. So that is my working project. It is real. It is here. It gives you the things about how to live on the road. It gives you a pack plan. It gives you hiking. It gives you locations. It gives you menu options. It gives you places of not just like, hey, did you eat there? No, I actually ate there. And we checked them so that they're still really there. If you love the outdoors, then you'll love working away with me because I love to be in nature. I love to be in the things that people that live there enjoy because there is a language, there is an element of delight in every part of the world. And you want to get to know that part. And that's what I really take the time to do, is to enjoy. As someone who feels things, I have to be in that space with my body to kind of get all of it cellularly. So you can have some information with somebody that's not just reporting, but someone that's lived it. And I think that's really a bigger deal in trusting the writing of the writer who's actually lived that tale, or that's their character to explore. And I'd love to share that with you. So thanks for tuning in. I cannot wait to share WorkAway with you. Florida is ready. And so we have Oregon's ready, Florida's ready, and we'll see what's next. I've been working on Texas this month, and I've also been working on Indiana. So I will see you soon, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.